Okay, so I was grounded for 2 months for making up the word vast. Yeah, that's the story. Let me tell you how it all started. I'm adopted, which I guess is kind of a weird thing to start with, but it's true. My parents adopted me when I was 3 months old in a family pawn shop. I was born in the middle of the pawn shop, and that's where I grew up. My dad owned the place, and he had this weird thing where he'd make comments about me to customers. One day, my biological aunt came in shop, and he said I was a cute baby. She replied, "You want her? CPS is coming to take her." And then he and my mom adopted me. I don't know what that says about them, but that's how it happened. My dad has done some seriously questionable stuff over the years. I remember being 8 and him telling me he felt brushed off by my mom, so he was going to find a new woman. And when I was 7 or 8, I asked my parents when we were going to go get ice cream, and they were in bed in the middle of the day. He told me we were taking me back to the orphanage to get a better little girl. I cried so hard, but those things taught me at a young age that I was replaceable. My mom was the controlling matriarch. She ran a daycare at home, and when my dad's pawn shop failed to pay the bills, she got a corporate job at a bank working in finance. We got a bigger house because she brought in more than the pawn shop. Around 9 or 10, they put me to work in the pawn shop after school and on weekends. I rode my bike to the store, and he encouraged me to lie to customers to create a relationship or solicit more money. I hated it. I'd choose to stay in the back, play video games, read, or listen to tapes and CDs. He'd often make me stop to clean or come out and help customers. When the pawn shop ultimately failed, he took several years off from working. During that time, I remember him mostly laying on the sofa, eating any junk he could find and watching reruns of Hogan's Heroes. I think I was my first experience with a depressed adult. Because he was unemployed, my mom tasked him with getting me to school in the morning. I was just starting to be a rebellious teenager, 13 to 15. If I forgot to tell him I loved him when exiting the car, he'd cry out, "You better tell me you love me. I might kill myself while you're at school." For a little while, I lived in fear of finding my father dead upon arriving home. I don't know exactly what happened, but over time, I stopped caring. So after that, things got worse. I was 14, and I had this boyfriend named Ricky. I never told my parents about him because I didn't think they'd understand. One afternoon, my dad asked me about Ricky. I was shocked he knew. I didn't tell them, but he knew anyway. Then there was this book report I was working on. I didn't tell them I was doing it, but again, he somehow found out. I read him the report, and it started within this vast world, and he stopped me, saying, "You can't do that. You can't make up words." I tried to tell him it wasn't made up and to look it up, but he didn't believe me. He said I was lying, and that's why I got grounded for 2 months. I was so confused and hurt. I didn't know how to explain that I wasn't lying, that vast was a real word. And he wouldn't let me look it up. I tried to argue, but he just got more angry. And then he said something that really messed me up. He said he was going to take away my phone, my computer, and my games. I was like, what? I was grounded for making up a word. I didn't even know how to respond. I was just so lost. I didn't know what to do. And then he said something even worse. He said he was going to take away my freedom. I didn't know what he meant, but I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Follow for part 3.